Hello there. It's your girl, Miss Ileane. And are you getting a little fed up with all of the new technology, all the new stuff that people want us to test and try and get involved with? There's all these challenges. Everybody wants to push you to do more and to go live and start a podcast and invest your money and just do all the things. However, we all have to, instead of making a resolution list or the one word for this year, I want you to think about all the things that you are saying no. No, I'm not doing it. I've had enough. I, I, I'm one person, and y'all trying to push me to do way, way, way too many things. And oh, hello, hello there, my dear friend Fraser Ramsay is over on the Facebook side. And just for the record, I am live on Facebook. I'm live on my YouTube channel, and I am live on Twitter and Chombita Chronicles and the YoVD podcast show. Hey, girl. Great to see you. Yes. Tell me, please, please, please type in the chat or type and leave me a comment if you are just getting a little, and I'm not going to use the old word overwhelm. I'm not going to use that because you get to decide what it is that you're going to pursue and what it is that you're going to just say, no, I'm not doing it. All right, so let's kick things off with uh, me sharing a little personal story with you right now. It's very quick though. And that story is, one of my favorite, all-time favorite platforms is YouTube. And right now, YouTube is letting me down. Fraser agrees. He says January, a good month to eliminate things. That's right. Instead of adding things, constantly adding things to our itinerary and to our schedule of things to do, let's eliminate some stuff so that when people start saying, hey, did you see this new feature on such and such a platform? Hey, do you know about, you can say, all right, no, I'm not doing that. So have fun. It's okay. So I just want to tell you a quick story, and it has to do with tech. And like I said, YouTube is one of my favorite platforms, and I have a new website. Well, it's relatively new. Some of you may have heard me talk about it before, and it's the Anchor Show. And I love the anchorshow.com website. It's hosted on Podpage, and one of the things they allow us to do is import our YouTube videos. So I have a dedicated page with all of my YouTube videos. So every time I publish a YouTube video, like when this video is over, within moments, it will be populated on that page. But take a look, because right now, all the videos that I have embedded over here are saying this live event is no longer available. OMG. All of my videos have that on there. And, I get it. Technology, sometimes things break. It's been over 24 hours now that this has been broken. And I actually tweeted I looked around on Twitter to see if was anybody complaining. Had YouTube posted any kind of an update? The reason why I'm bringing this up is just to show you how you can't depend on these platforms. Even my beloved YouTube, right now they're letting me down. But the positive thing was after I went through Twitter and a friend of mine, Doc Rock, in fact, he's the one who said, don't use that word overwhelm. Doc Rock looked over on Reddit for me because he said, if you don't like profanity, you don't want to go over on Reddit. And he said, a lot of people on Reddit are complaining about it. We found some articles about it on Google. And I actually had an exchange on Twitter with Team YouTube, and they said that they were going to bring it to the attention of the engineers. And, that doesn't mean it's going to get fixed right away or that it's going to get fixed. Because some of the stuff I found in my travels said that this is a new thing they're testing. And I'm like, someone suggested to me, why don't you just change the links? I'm like, I have over 500 videos. I don't have that kind of time. Yeah. Where did you import your videos from? From YouTube. Hey, Barb, thanks for stopping. And start February with the stuff you can handle. And so you guys know every day, or if you don't know, I'll tell you, every morning I meditate with the Calm app. So I'm not losing my cool over that. And I've done my part. I've reported it to YouTube. I did a little research. I see that others, it's not just me. And I have multiple websites. Also, this is also happening over on the IleaneSmith.com website, which is a WordPress. I'm not even going to do a screen share. Doesn't matter. All I'm saying to you is we put our heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears into these platforms. And I just want us to think about, at some point, we just have to say no. So I want to know from you, what are you saying no to in 2022? What are you going to say no in 2022? So I'm going to give you some examples, and I'm only going to pick on YouTube because, I just YouTube Shorts. Please type in the chat and let me know if you're going to say no to YouTube Shorts. Now, I have experimented with YouTube Shorts on my channel, and some of the results were positive. I had mixed results. Let's put it that way. I had mixed results. Ileane centering her chi in the morning. Yes, in the morning, I have to have my daily calm app and meditate with Tamira Levitt. And it keeps me centered and keeps me focused. And in fact, the other day, my friend, Mr. Rodney, says, how can I play those on Alexa? And I was like, well, you can't. Because I have him listening to it now sometimes too. And he needs to have that centering as well. So YouTube Shorts, is there anyone that's going to say no to YouTube Shorts? Oh, and by the way, because I see that a lot of my friends are here, if you want to join me on stream, only my friends. If you're a stranger, I'm probably not going to let you up here. So, but since I see my friends are here, if you want to join me on stream, Ileane.link/join on stream. Okay, so the next thing I want to know if you're going to say no to is Discord. Discord. What do you think about using Discord? Now, in full disclosure, a friend of mine has, I am using Discord. I'll just say it that way. I am using Discord for a few of the communities that I belong to. And Honestly, I've had my Discord account for years, never really got into it, but this year, I'm gonna say that I am going to say yes. I'm gonna say yes to Discord, but I'm not trying to convince you to go over to Discord. I don't know if I'm gonna do any Discord tutorials or any of that stuff, but I will say that in the past years, I have said no to Discord. But this year, I'm going to say yes because I do think that it's a good idea to not have all of your little eggs in one basket. And for me, it's like mostly in the Facebook basket. Okay, and so Barb has said no to YouTube Shorts. No time for YouTube Shorts. Easy to say no to Discord and Reddit. Oh, I didn't even have Reddit on the list because they're so no that I don't even have them on the list. But that's a good one, Barb. Thanks for reminding me about Reddit. Okay. And happy Sunday to Blind Guy, his wife, their life. And I sure hope that you get my message because I want to invite you to the Facebook group just so you'll know what the message is about. All right. So, next thing that I want to know and I think we're going to get some yeses on this one. All right, let me just stop the Discord one. Yes, I think we're going to get some yeses on this next. Oops. Hey, I thought when I hit the space bar, I thought it was going to take the comment down, but it didn't. It put that banner back up. So I guess it depends upon what screen you're on. And I just so happen to be on the screen for the banners. So there you go. And Barb says, I'm going to say no to following folks who profess to be leaving Facebook. I do have Facebook on my list, Barb, so don't get ahead of me. But yes, I understand people saying that they're going to leave Facebook. I totally get it. And, you get sometimes certain platforms give you anxiety. So certain platforms just give you anxiety. And I just think that even if that venting to say, I'm leaving, even if you don't do it, may give you some sense of release because you have to talk yourself into actually leaving. So a lot of times, oh, wait, uh-oh, I'm never on Facebook. Oh, darn it. See, that's why we have to not have all our eggs in one basket because see, that's where the patrons group is on Facebook. And I saw that you have a Facebook page, but anyway, Carla Jenkins is here. Hey, Carla, right. They'll be posting the next day. Oh, right, Carla talking about what Barb said. So let me just do a recap. Because we are always under pressure with all these challenges and summits and conferences, and you got to push yourself and you got to go live, you got to get on camera, you got to start your podcast. I have decided that today we need to think about not the things that we're going to start doing, but the things that we're either going to stop doing or we're just like saying no, like so that we know every time we hear about a tutorial for I'll skip the good one that I thought everybody was going to say yes to. I'll put this next one up. Every time we hear about a tutorial for NFTs, we know that we can turn off that podcast or ignore that Twitter space or scroll past that Instagram post or whatever the case may be because we just don't have the bandwidth Not because we have anything against NFTs. We all want to know ways that we can make money. And if NFTs is the golden ticket, I think that's fantastic. We're not holding anything against the people or the technology. We just need to have space so that we can think and we can breathe and we can function. Okay? And I'll just do a quick reminder for those that are my buddies that I know. If you want to join me on screen, Ileane.link/join on screen. Ileane.link/join on screen. And I'm on StreamYard, but don't come up in here with no nonsense, even though I know everybody that I'm talking to right now in the chat. I know you're not going to come up here. No nonsense. I just want to put that up there. So NFTs, to let me know if you're saying no or yes to NFTs. And Carla says, hit that like button. Oh, thank you, Carla. Yes. Okay. And Barb says, some folks will never get the fact that Facebook is just a tool. Forget the labels. Control what you do with tools. Barb, I agree with you so much. However, as someone who does a lot of tutorials on Facebook and spends a lot of time on there, one thing that I will say that I can see where people are frustrated with Facebook is the fact that they change features and functions on the fly without any communication. There's like very, very little transparency there. So a lot of times people will come to my videos, especially here on YouTube, because they're searching. They're on YouTube searching, how do I do a certain thing on Facebook? And they come to, and they kind of treat me like Facebook support because they can't get anybody on Facebook. And, I do tutorials for a wide range of platforms. But the one that seems to frustrate people the most with the lack of information is Facebook. So this is why I sympathize with people that say they want to leave Facebook. It's not so much the content that people are putting out. That's a factor too. Yeah. Those people, look, just leave Facebook. If you keep scrolling down that news feed and you keep seeing that content you don't like, then either stop scrolling or leave. That I agree with. But people that are actually frustrated with the features and the functions of the platform, I get it. Because I get frustrated with the questions. And I want to put up a little banner on every one of my Facebook videos that says, I am not Facebook support. I'm not. See, that's something I'm definitely saying no to in 2022, Facebook support. Especially since they're not paying me. Okay, and Angelica Prantha. Hey, beautiful lady. This is the first time joining my live. Yes, thank you. And you had earlier said hello. And blind guy, his wife, their life says, guess it's time to stop saying no to Facebook in 2022. Let me just say, even though I have that group for patrons, you don't have to, if you're Facebook, it's not your thing. We'll just have to work something out. That's all. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. Can I only join via audio? Is that okay? Sure. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Yep. Feel free, Barb. I would love to have you up. Yes to NFTs. Okay. See, great. See, so if you're saying yes to NFTs, let me make some suggestions. Not that I think I need to make suggestions to you guys, because the Corey and Laquita, y'all know how to find information on stuff that y'all want but I'm just going to put that out there for anybody, not just doing searches on YouTube, because we're all on YouTube. Well, we're not all on YouTube. Some of us are on Facebook. Don't search for anything about NFTs on Facebook, please. But listen to podcasts. There's a lot of information on podcasts about NFTs. And then there is a book. In fact, I purchased the book. I have not read it yet, that I will recommend about NFTs. And let me write myself a note to post that book here. Okay. If I don't get a chance before the stream is over, I will definitely post a link to this whole, it's like that intro to NFTs. And you may already be beyond that point. I'm not sure. Okay. Thank you, Angelica. Okay. I'm saying no to trying to be on every platform. That's right. Preach it, sister. That's what I'm doing. What's the link again? The link is join on stream. So, I always start my links with Ileane.link. Ileane.link/join on stream. Okay. All right. So here's one that I think a lot of my friends here are going to say yes to, but I could be wrong. But let me get back over here on the banners. Canva. Who is saying yes to Canva? Baby, or I'm sorry, who's saying no to Canva? Is anybody saying no? Like, look, Canva sounds cute, and I can use it for free, but I just rather pay somebody on Fiverr, or my niece or my nephew. They know how to design stuff. I'm just going to use them. I don't need Canva, as cute as it may be. I got other stuff to do with my day than sit there looking through Canva's whole library of templates trying to find the right one. Okay, so you might say no to Canva. If you're going to say no to Canva, let me know. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my friend, Barb Tomlin.
Hi there.
Hey, Barb.
Well, I'm really naked with gear this morning. I'm literally using my webcam microphone,
Okay.
and but my webcam is being fed a virtual camera application. That's why I'm on audio.
Okay, and that's the inside of a balloon for those who don't have the
That's
perspective
actually
on
the
that.
outside of an environmental that
I'm
balloon
sorry,
is.
the outside. I see it now on the bottom. I can see it's the outside. All right,
So
wait. Let me put up a couple more comments here. Okay, she's Angelica's saying no. And then Angelica also said, that's my husband lane. I'm not touching it at all. So Angelica doesn't see, but I mean about Canva. I thought everybody was going to say yes to Canva, but there's a no. And that's just it. Know how to stay in your lane. If you have no intentions on creating your YouTube thumbnails or your podcast cover art, and you got a husband or a partner or a team member, or like I said, you hire somebody on Fiverr, you go, girl. And let me know who's saying no to Canva so I can put them on my altar for immediate help. Well, she's got her husband, so she got something like she don't have to worry about. So that's great that she has that resource. So we're going to let Angelica ride on that one. All right. And she says, my husband runs a media company. See, that's what I'm saying. Use your assets. And this way you can save. You don't have to worry about when you see those Canva tutorials, you can say, next. I don't need to watch that. Hubby's doing Canva work, and he might be using Photoshop, Illustrator, or whatever he does. That is beautiful. Okay, Barb. So, what do you remember? Some of the things. What were you saying no to? You said people that say that they're stopping following people that are saying they're leaving Facebook. But anything else?
That's the biggest thing for me. I don't have time for that nonsense.
Okay.
But I totally agree with you. My biggest frustration with Facebook since the day I joined Facebook is the fact that they just put things out there and then they take them away and they don't hold themselves accountable.
They
So,
don't.
as a platform, and they can get away with it because of the sheer volume of users that they've got and people's dependency. And so they would just let them percentage wise, do the ranting and raving and just keep, when they get around to it. And
Yep.
I have a get around to it husband and that I've had for over
Get
45 years.
round to it.
So I'm very familiar with that get around to it stuff.
Okay. All right. So here's the next one we're going to talk about. This is the one that I pretty much have said no to. TikTok. TikTok. Who is saying no to TikTok?
I've
Who
said
is
no to it since the beginning. So
all
I
right.
have an account there to help people, to check in on things that they've told me. Did you see this? That, this could impact you kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, and I have an account there, and I uploaded a couple of, I repurposed some I never made exclusive TikTok content, and I can't say it did well. It was okay. You know, I just wanted to have. I basically like to make sure that I land grab and I get my handle so that nobody else gets it.
Right.
And then when I do that, I'm like, well, at least I got to put a couple pieces of content up there. But it's just, it's okay. I have nothing against it. I just can say no. And so Millennial Multimedia Group said, what are your thoughts about Restream? I used it before and find it useful, but now I'm thinking about using and purchasing a Teradek encoder. Now, Millennial Multimedia Group, I have just started using Restream again recently. I know that a lot of people use it and they enjoy it. One of the features that attracted me back to it is this thing called Restream Pairs. So, for example, if I was live on Restream, which I'm not, by the way, shout out to StreamYard. I'm on StreamYard and I'm using the Ecamm virtual cam. And if I were on Restream, I could say to Barb, here's your link. Here's a link that you can now add your platforms, and we could also be live on your social platforms. And it's called Restream Pairs. And
Right.
as far as I know, it's unique. There's no other platform that has that. Um, and so I think they'll probably all start. That's one to be copied. So I predict like within 6 months, StreamYard will have something similar,
Right.
or if not StreamYard, then maybe Ecamm Live, whoever.
Hmm.
But Restream is perfectly fine. A Teradek encoder, I can't say I have experience with it, but I did used to use a mobile app from Teradek. Let me take this banner down because it's getting on my nerves. I know it's probably getting on yours right now. I did have a mobile app that I used to use, and their support was lousy. But I was using a free app. They might have fantastic support with their paid encoders. I don't know. So give Restream a try first, and the link is in the description for Restream. Hello. All right. Blind guy, his wife, their life says, I will say that my Facebook is neglected. So I'm excited that your husband has a media company. Oh, she's talking to Angelica to help you, Angelica. I'm not trying to be on every platform either. Uh huh. That's right. Preach it. I would be lost without his help, Blind. That's wonderful that you guys have, because Corey and Laquita, blind guy, his wife, their life, they are a tight family unit. And so, Angelica, it's great to know that you and your husband are as well. Cynthia, hey, Happy New Year. And Snuggles, hey, Snuggles. Snuggles 668, by the way. And I love that feature when I'm a guest on other people's platform, able to share with my community. Okay, so you're talking about the Restream Pairs. That is a unique feature. And honestly, I think it was brilliant for them to come up with that. And I haven't seen any of the other platforms or the other services emulate that feature yet. So right now, that should be like one of their biggest selling points. I know when I sent out a tweet the other day talking about Restream, that was the main thing that I talked about in that tweet was, yeah, they have this really unique feature, and the principal is here. Kathy, hello, hello, happy Sunday. So Kathy and Snuggles and Cynthia, we are talking about the things that we're going to say no to because people have been challenging us to take on all these new tasks and do all this stuff, but we just want to know what we can eliminate. Happy New Year. I need to revisit all the help from my nail stream on Twitch. Oh, okay. Crazy parents. Principal Principal Walker, you can't say no to the crazy parents because you are the principal. So I'm sorry. We're talking about technology and software and platforms, those kinds of things. Let me bring it down so that I don't want you out here um, getting yourself in trouble with those crazy parents. Okay, so here's the next one I want your guys to weigh in on. And then she says, please, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You know what? Honestly, guys, I was talking about it earlier that I use that Calm app. And, with everybody going a little crazy, everybody's going just a little crazy, okay? Because of these 2 years that we've all been under this immense pressure of this, you know, what's been going on, right? So just give yourself some extra self care because we can't control how other people react to things. And if we're in those kinds of jobs where we have to deal with these things, I think the best thing we can do is give ourselves extra, just love on ourselves extra. Thank you for the super chat, Snuggle668. You can say no to drugs, but have you noticed that when you're in a hospital and you tell the doctors no to them giving you drugs, they get offended? Why? Oh my goodness. I have never, when I'm in the hospital, I ain't never turned down no drugs. The nurses walk by, they're not even coming in my room. I'm like, hey, where's my stuff? But you have a point. You do have a point. And so thanks for the super chat. I appreciate you. And yes, the Calm app is life right now. Oh, great. I'm so glad that you're using it, Principal Walker, because yeah, it's needed. Like I said, keep loving on yourself, sweetie. And we all love you too. Circle of influence versus circle of concern. Oh, interesting. I like that. I like that. Okay, so here's the next one. We're talking back to our digital and tech stuff that we're going to say no to for 2022. The next one I want us to weigh in on is Twitter Spaces. Twitter Spaces. If you don't know what Twitter Spaces is, really quickly, it's social audio that's just like Clubhouse, only it's on Twitter. What do you think, Barb?
I am on the fence on that one. I have participated in Samantha Kelly. You may remember her from Blab.
Oh,
She's just doing a bang up job in Twitter Spaces. But ever since all the hubbub of last year with Twitter, I've just been reluctant to re-engage regularly. And I think that if I did start engaging more regularly, I'd probably spend more time in spaces than, because I would know people that were in spaces and connecting with those people through that. I would, as a comparable to, say, Clubhouse, and people who had migrated from Clubhouse to Twitter Spaces, I probably would do that.
okay.
Just because Twitter has been around so much longer, and the management, everything has changed. They're trying to, reinvent themselves. So
Mhm.
we'll see. I'm like standing there. Okay, show me what you're really gonna do.
Right, right. And Angelica says never even used it.
Yeah.
I've used it. Now, I want to tell you guys something new that they have now. Now you can record, everybody can record their Twitter spaces. So that might be helpful for you if you're doing podcasting and looking for a quick way. Maybe you have guests come on. I'm not really recommending that, but it is an option. I just want you to know that it's out there. But if I've already said no to Twitter Spaces, don't just forget what I just said.
But what about the quality of audio on Twitter for to use it for repurposing for podcasts? Is the quality actually good enough? I've heard that it's not, but it's
Honestly, everybody that I know that is using their Twitter Spaces for podcasts is actually recording with
yes,
a third
mhm,
party app or they're using a device like the Rodecaster Pro.
right,
In fact, there's two. Got to give a shout out to my girl Madeline Sklar, who does the Twitter Smarter Twitter chat and podcast, and her co-host Madeline's co-host, whose name it just slipped my mind just that quick. But anyway, they do amazing Twitter spaces that they also record, but they're recording it externally.
right,
And so, yeah, but the coming together of the community is happening on Twitter.
hmm,
So see, there's a space, and then after they go over the different news of, because their podcast is called All Things Audio. Oh, her name is Suze Cooper, Suze, but it's pronounced Suze. Suze Cooper is the co-host, and it's called All Things Audio. So they cover, not just Twitter Spaces, but they also talk about anything audio. Okay, and so because they are using, I think one is using a Rodecaster Pro, or maybe they're both using it. I'm not sure how that works, but even after they go through all the news and all that, then they bring up the people in the audience. And most of the time, that's also included in the podcast. So it still gives you that opportunity to bring other voices. Like if they were just recording the podcast, in the studio or whatever, they wouldn't have that opportunity to bring these other experts in. They're only being able to bring them in because they're there in the Twitter space. So that's something to consider. Like I said, I'm not trying to convince any of you all to try it if you haven't tried it, but it's something to keep an eye on and listen out for if you're doing a podcast, or if you just, like earlier, the NFTs. I mentioned the NFTs, and some of you said no, but then some of you said yes.
Well,
Twitter
I'm following NFTs for sure.
Twitter Spaces is full of NFTs. I bet right now I could go on my phone and open up Twitter. I'm not going to do it, but I guarantee you there's at least 5 to 10 NFT spaces with not people that
Oh,
don't know what they're talking about, that are just
right.
like with,
Um,
people with the blue check marks.
exactly. I follow it, but I'm not following the people on Twitter and that. I'm following the technology. I've been following it before it was cool.
Uh-huh. So yeah.
And
Well, it's not
that's not where,
cool.
beware of what's out there on the social platforms. All of these experts on the new metaverse, etc., because it's, you know, we've been there and done that. And just like Facebook announced, they're not planning on seeing a return for almost 5 years. I will.
Facebook.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh,
Meta.
okay,
Facebook
and a return on what? I'm sorry, I missed you.
on
How
their
you?
metaverse investment,
Okay, okay. I'm
and
not.
that's because
That's
it gets
related to the
down
NFTs.
to.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's very much so because that's the currency. That's
Gotcha.
use of the currency.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And we've
See, for
been.
those of us who are saying no to NFTs, that almost went over my head.
Okay.
But
Well,
I realized what you said, and I had to bring it back. Okay, now
yeah.
I get the connection.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. And so, blind guy, his wife, their life says no to Twitter Spaces because I'm not maximizing Twitter. It's as neglected as my Facebook. So I think you're saying yes to YouTube, right? And Angelica says, waiting. I'm not using another platform. Girl, you are so focused. I love that, Angelica. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kathy says, since a large market of school admins are on Twitter, Twitter Spaces is probably a format I need to try. Yeah, because they could be having those conversations. I do know that there's a lot of education
Right.
conversations happening now, whether they're involving the area that you're in, that you work in, is, remains to be seen. But because I know that you're a learned person, you're a person who likes to be educated and to get information, then you may find some of the other conversations in that education space and other spaces as well very interesting. And even a lot of pop culture, because I know a lot of some of your YouTube content is about pop culture. Oh, there's a ton of pop culture stuff on Twitter Spaces. Yeah, you probably would run out of time listening to all that stuff. It's about knowing your audience and where they are. Yes, and this is part of the challenge that we have, because a lot of times we spend our time just trying to find out where our audience is. And because our audiences are so fragmented, hence today, this is why I'm live on 3 places. And most of you all know I don't typically multi-stream. But today I really could not decide, where do I want to go live? On YouTube, on Facebook, or well, Twitter. Twitter Live is just there because Twitter is not doing anything with Twitter Live, but that's a whole nother rant. Okay. So all I had to do was check a box. But that's the reason why I'm on Facebook and YouTube, because honestly, I wasn't sure which one I wanted to do. And I was like, I'm just going to do both. And that's why I decided to go live with StreamYard versus just going live directly through Ecamm Live. Because usually when I go live on YouTube, I just go with Ecamm Live. And yeah, but this is nice because I could bring in, like, Barb could come in, and Barb is familiar with coming in on StreamYard. And I know a lot of you are. All right. So let's see. What's the next one that I want to ask you about? All right. We talked about Twitter Spaces, but hey, did you guys know about this one? LinkedIn audio. Ooh, did you know that LinkedIn is doing audio now? Social audio? Did you know about that, Barb?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Corey says, Corey and Laquita say, good point on knowing where your audience are. I don't investigate that enough. I just focus on YouTube and drive them there. Well, you know what? If what you're doing is working, and this is kind of the point of what I'm saying to you guys today, just keep doing what you're doing. We can get so many different ideas from so many different people. We have our mentors that we can get ideas from, but if what you're doing right now is working and that's working for you, a blind guy, his wife, their life, because you guys are getting sponsors. And other people are sitting there saying, how can I monetize my content?
Right.
And you guys already got it all monetized. So don't worry about it. You keep driving your audience to YouTube because that is working for you like a charm. Angelica says, I love Ecamm. Yes, honey. We're going to get Barb on there one day.
I
And
pay for that. I pay for Ecamm,
I
and
know
I
you.
haven't been using it. I mean, this is crazy. I paid what? Almost $4,000 for that computer decked out for Ecamm,
Mhm.
and it's sitting there.
Oh, one day you'll crack it open, or you'll wind up getting one of the newer ones, the faster ones that they got out now with the M1 chips.
I thought mine already had that. I got the earliest one of the M1 chip.
Probably not if you paid that price.
4 gram?
Yeah, probably not. That's probably the older iMac because the
Mm.
24-inch iMac is on. You have the iMac.
No, I have it's the
You have a
uh,
laptop.
I have the laptop. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Maybe you do. Maybe you do.
it's an expensive laptop.
Okay. Yeah, it sure
That
is.
I mean, I had to wait for it because they had to custom do it,
Okay. Yeah.
and it was at the end of that. And I said, "Well, I hear you're coming out," and so then and I said, "Well, I don't need it today. If you can put it all in." So, but I haven't. I turned it on one time when I got it to make sure it ran, and I
It's
said, "I got to get Ileane to help me with this stuff. It's all her fault. I got it."
Oh, it's my fault. Not my fault. I didn't build Ecamm. Blame it on Ken and Glenn,
Oh,
the twins. And K-Walk Comedy, also, who I've been calling the principal, says LinkedIn is another big space for educators. Absolutely,
right.
it is.
Definitely she needs to be on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I think that LinkedIn is one I'm going to say yes to this year. When I was one of the earliest beta testers on LinkedIn, I have really not taken it seriously at all. But I think as my last hurrah, leaving the online space, I'm going to give LinkedIn a shot.
Okay. Well, Cynthia wants me to tell her more. So I'll just tell you what I know. It's only rolled out in a limited release right now. And you do it as an event.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, you do it from mobile, but it can be listened to on the web. Honestly, I have not actually listened to it on the web. But I was listening to a podcast. There's a podcast I follow. I'm not sharing it with you guys though, because guys, super, super dry and boring. And sometimes he gets the wrong information. And so, but right now he's the podcast that I have that focuses on LinkedIn. And he said that you can listen on the web, but I have not done that yet. So it just came out, I want to say 2 weeks ago, or maybe only a week ago. So look out for it to, come as once it rolls out to folks, we'll be able to schedule as an event and it'll be a live audio event. So there you go. Stream and Corey and Laquita say StreamYard is my final stop. They keep adding features that the other platforms have, and I like that it's online based and saying no to Ecamm. Oh, I wasn't going to put Ecamm on the list. Saying no to Ecamm. I can't do it. But I'm glad you are saying no to Ecamm because I know you've been on a lot of the conversations about Ecamm and, you're sticking with StreamYard. And I know earlier someone asked me about Restream. And even though I did re up my subscription, they got me on the whole Black Friday sale and everything. And that worked out for me because after I um, did my Restream, I went in there and lo and behold, I had money sitting in there in the affiliate income that was sitting there for 2 years that I didn't even know about. So it paid for itself. So actually, I didn't end up paying for it. And so Angelica said, I started to enjoy LinkedIn. People are more about their business. Yes. And see, for me, this is one reason why I don't use LinkedIn as much. I'm more about with using my digital for other things, not just for business. However, because of my work, my day job, as well as the work that I do for Better Than Success, which is my daughter's real estate firm, I do need to know what's going on over there on LinkedIn. And honestly, she doesn't use it. She does mostly all her business on Instagram and YouTube. I'm sorry, not Facebook. Thank you for the super sticker, Chase. How are you? Oh my goodness. It's great to see you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful super sticker. Yes, I love Linked as I'm a fashion professional and will definitely check it out. Okay, great. All right, so let's see what else can we put up on our saying no to, because even though I am live on Facebook right now, and I know that a lot of you um, like and use Facebook Live, I want to know who is saying no, 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 no to Facebook Live. I have run into a couple of people that just don't want to use Facebook Live.
Okay, please elaborate on that. Do you mean going direct on Facebook, going live direct on Facebook, or going live on Facebook at all? What are you saying?
Either. I'm not sure I understand the difference of what you're
Well, like now you're using StreamYard and you're streaming live to Facebook and you're streaming live to YouTube.
Right.
So that's one way of going live on Facebook.
Right.
But Facebook Live Direct would be launching from your phone or launching directly from your phone to a page or to a group, or launching from your desktop directly to a page.
I'm lumping all that stuff in together because your end user doesn't care which one you're doing. Right? The person who's watching your Facebook Live, consuming your content, they don't care if you're using your phone or StreamYard or Restream or Ecamm. They don't care, do they?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question because it depends on how you use these third-party tools and, the ease of bringing someone up on screen with you using a tool such as StreamYard or Ecamm over using what is built into Facebook is much easier.
Oh, absolutely.
And your distribution can be much broader. So, and your recording, like we on StreamYard, we have space for extra recording as well, but our recording is better quality every single time we're getting it direct. And Facebook, if you check your Facebook Lives, if you're counting on that to be the space where it's recorded, the quality has disintegrated on your prior lives, and it disintegrates within days after you go live just using it directly.
Aha. You made some excellent points. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I would say that me personally, when I go live on Facebook, I 99% of the time I'm using a third-party app. I'm probably not going to just use my phone Well, I will say in December, I do believe I did do a live stream from my phone on my page.
Mhm.
It was shorter live stream, and I don't know, just to be different, just because I can. But it's great to see you too, Chase. But yeah, these are important things that people need to keep in mind. And a blind guy, his wife, their life says LinkedIn is hopefully maybe a space that I'll try to consider thinking about possibly as an option to perhaps do in the near or distant future. Kind of a no. Well, I will say that there's a couple different things to know about going live on LinkedIn. First of all, you definitely have to use a third party app, but they used to have an approval process, but now I understand. I have not confirmed this myself because I actually have the access. I went through the approval process, but I understand that now if you change your profile to a creator profile on LinkedIn, you automatically get LinkedIn Live. That's the rumor that I heard. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody that actually said, yes, I did it and I got it now. But
I
I heard
have it, and I didn't apply for early access. The person that I knew developed the live lived right down the street from me and begged me to get it. I got it for StreamYard. I got it for a lot of influencers through LinkedIn Live, but I didn't want anything to do with it because I didn't want anything to do with LinkedIn.
okay.
However, when the creator thing came forward, because I felt that that was the move that would change LinkedIn, and it has. So, yes to LinkedIn Live from that space.
Okay. All right. You got an interesting story, like the winding path. Yeah. A
Well,
lot of
but it
my
was all about that thing of following those shiny objects and just doing it for the sake. I was there to stake my claim and so forth, and it's another to use it productively to make a difference in your life, in your business.
Mhm.
And I think that it humanized when they did the creator space, they did the newsletters, it humanized LinkedIn. And
Interesting.
that's what was missing
Yeah, because it's so
because
businessy, like I was saying earlier. And so, and some of these comments, I apologize, I'm a little behind, are about LinkedIn, and it's great for connecting with people. I know you're not talking about Facebook. And so, Cynthia, now she's talking about Facebook. I don't like Facebook Live. I'm saying no. Good. You got that. So whenever you see my tutorials come out about Facebook Live, you're like, I'm not watching that video. No, I'm gonna watch that video anyway because Ileane might say something funny. But no, I'm still not using saying no to Facebook Live is where most of my old head pop culture kids live.
Mhm.
Mm. No saying no to Facebook Live. Let me make sure I understand. Is that a no or a no? Come on back,
I
Kathy.
get it. I get it.
And Juan is here, and he says, Ileane, Juan, hola. And Cynthia says, wondering what streaming platform is better to stream on multi platforms. The one that you like to use. Like, for example, I love StreamYard. I know a lot of people that love Restream, they think it's cool. So you can try StreamYard for free, and you can use StreamYard for free. And you can use Restream for free. And I have links in the description of this video for both of those platforms. So try them and see which one you like. But
And you can actually use them with each other.
Restream and
Restream
StreamYard?
with StreamYard, yeah.
You mean the Restream Studio? Or
Well,
I gotta
it's
understand
another
how.
story, but they can be used together, and that's because of the type of applications that they are. It's just like using Zoom with StreamYard. You can do that too, but you have to, it all gets down to where is your audience and what is going to be most comfortable to connect with them and for yourself to use because you're actually hosting your show. it's your show and you're bringing your audience in. It's how, if you feel comfortable with the tool. Now, Ileane and I really love StreamYard, and one of the things about it is that we can bring those other tools in. We can feature them through screen share very easily. And because it has screen share plus audio. And then we can use an additional tool. We can use Restream for further distribution, to broaden the distribution, and still be able, and some of the tools that we don't have otherwise. But when you get to that point, you're really into the technology. So you either are working with a producer, having someone assist you, or you know all of that and you're comfortable with it. So
Very cool. Very cool. And so Cynthia brought up a good one for us to add to the list. Pinterest. Pinterest. She's interested in Pinterest streaming. I am not able to do a tutorial on that one, Cynthia. And I have basically said no to
it's
Pinterest.
available there.
Yes, but I
Okay.
do believe it's only limited to certain people and all that.
Oh,
But and
okay.
and this is why I don't have all the information, because when I heard it, I said, that's only going to last a hot minute. And so
Not if they let StreamYard in there, because someone like Melody Lane, remember, because Melody, I talk about her a lot. She's a crafter. And so she has an audience on there. So that again is that distribution thing. And if you have StreamYard as your tool, I'm not selling StreamYard, but the bottom line is the fact that it's so flexible, it can get you there as well as on Facebook, as well as on LinkedIn, as well as on YouTube.
oh, that reminds me of something that I didn't have that I definitely need to add here, that kind of would get the same um results. And I'm just going to put that up right now, is Amazon Live. Because what you were just describing to me when you talked about Melody and her
Mhm.
crafting and using a creek cut, I believe is what she uses, it reminded me of Amazon Live
Right, but
and
she's not
how
doing Amazon Live. You know that, right?
she's what?
She's not doing Amazon Live.
No,
You
I
know
did
that,
not.
right?
I didn't know. And
And
why?
that's because if you go through the numbers, she is absolutely making phenomenal bank using the combination of YouTube and Facebook.
Oh,
Her
okay. So she
Facebook
doesn't need it.
groups, her Facebook groups have hundreds of thousands of members.
Yeah, so she don't need Amazon Live, and she wouldn't get
And
it.
so, well, no, because she also represents a product, has a direct relationship with the manufacturer of the product lines.
Okay, yeah.
And so, therefore, when she goes live, she's already got her deal done. She doesn't need distribution through Amazon.
Right, right. What creator thing on Barb LinkedIn? You can change your profile on LinkedIn to a creator profile.
Right.
Yeah. And so far, LinkedIn Live, then I could just add it as a destination. If so, I'm saying yes. Yes, you can just add it once you get it approved, or you do this thing with switching your profile, then yes, you just add it as a destination in StreamYard. Yes. And Angelica is saying yes, I believe, to LinkedIn. And Cynthia said, thank you. And my audience is on Twitch and LinkedIn. That is so unique. It's so interesting because you don't even think of those two audiences as being interested in the same kind of content. So I love, love, love for you for saying that, Cynthia. You know, I did some time there at LinkedIn, and I feel like, yeah, I'll use that word, did some time over on Twitch. And I for me, it takes up too much time. If I'm doing it for the purpose of monetizing my content and all that, same way with Amazon Live. For me, you have to stream for hours at a time in order to, if you're doing it to monetize, which I was, yeah, it takes too long. It just takes way too long. Sorry. Just for me. you have a whole completely different niche, and evidently you know that your audience is there. So see, you've done the homework. I love that. And you know where your people are. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So any Amazon live takers or deniers in the audience? I love you ladies. Oh, thank you, Cynthia.
I'm on the fence on Amazon Live. I got in early. I've had it available to me to do, and have yet to do an Amazon Live. And again, and I've even bought, I've been very conscientious of the product I bought to do those things with. And I've watched the people doing it, and the amount of work and time that it takes in putting into that. And I have to say, is that how I want it? Like Ileane said, there comes a time you have to say no. And to me, I don't see the why for it, for me personally. And so I'm on the fence on that one. I'm not going to say never, because I definitely spend a lot of money on Amazon every single year. It makes sense. I've set to do it. But because of the criteria that they have set, and the things that they have done in deploying it, I'm like, maybe not quite. It's going to take a lot of extra time, and I don't think it needs to be like that. It's almost like issues that we have with Facebook not being consistent. And I don't know if you're going to go back on Facebook or not, but the Facebook rooms is a big deal. So if you didn't address that, we do need to address it.
Yep, we are going to address it, and I just want to
Okay.
make sure that I understand your question. Show us that cup again, Miss Ileane. It's beautiful. Are you talking about the StreamYard mug? Let me know if that's the cup you're talking about. But as Barb was saying, and we talked about club. We didn't talk about Clubhouse yet, did we? We got to
No,
talk
we
about
just mentioned it.
we gotta talk about Clubhouse before we talk more about Facebook. And let me make sure I spelled that right. Not Clubhouse, but Clubhouse web listening. So, did you know that you can now listen to Clubhouse from the web? You don't need a Clubhouse account. You don't have to log in. You need the link to know, it's not like there's a website that you can go and looking for it, but if you have that link,
Yes.
you can listen to Clubhouse on the web. Now, I don't know that that matters to any of you, but it if you are using Clubhouse, this is a way that you can expand your audience, because some people that are in your audience, but they're just like, I'm just not going on Clubhouse and I don't care about it or whatever. Then you could still send them that link. And remember, Clubhouse now has replays. So that replay will be there. And you can always share that link for people to listen to the replay of your Clubhouse. So, what say you, friends? Clubhouse in 2022? Yay or nay?
On the fence.
Oh, on the fence. Okay. I um I would be perfectly willing to go into a Clubhouse room as a guest, as a speaker,
Right. There you
as a
go.
speaker. But
There you
I got to be honest with you. I have been on Clubhouse for over a year, and I'm opening up that app now to see just how many followers I have. I have 1,200 followers. I have never opened a Clubhouse room. Never. I've been in rooms. I've been a speaker. I've gone to rooms, but my other socials are sending people to my Clubhouse. You see what I mean? Because the few times that I've been in rooms, let's face it, maybe a dozen in 12 months. That meant I did like one room a month. That's not enough to get 1,000 followers. I know people that are on Clubhouse every day, and they don't have 1,000 followers. So it's my other socials that are sending people to my Clubhouse, and so that's fine. I'm on Clubhouse. I'll say yes to it with without me being the person to start the room, because I'm still serving my audience, because they want to hear from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're following me over there, even though I'm not starting rooms. And so let me make sure. Okay, it's the blue cup that they want. Okay, here is the cup. Actually, I put some thought into buying these, and I got them at Sam's Club, not Amazon. I got them from Sam's Club because my cups were sweating. Right? You got ice water, it sweats all over the place. And so the first thing I did was get these coasters. My friend, Mr. Rodney, his daughters, they're so artistic and crafty and all that. So Maya, which is the youngest daughter, who's about to have her second baby. Anyway, she started making these coasters. I saw her post on Instagram. And so I was told her what I wanted in the coaster. So I did. I got that. And I was putting my cup on it. It was still, so it was sweating in the water, because I always put a lot of ice in whatever I'm drinking. The water was not only covering the coaster, it was going underneath the coaster. So now the coaster was sliding around. I was like, I'm still stuck, right? So I said, no, what I need is a cup that keeps things hot and cold. And so I landed on this bad boy. And I got a pack of 4. In fact, one of the 4 is at my daughter's house. And for the last time I was there, I was like, just keep my cup here. I put it at the top of the pantry. Mhm. I love my cups. Start my day and end my day with my cup. Maria is here. Okay, anyone use Streamlabs? There's a long story about Streamlabs, but Streamlabs kind of lost a lot of credibility with the live streaming community. But I have done some tutorials about Streamlabs, but right now, without going into all the hullabaloo, I will say Stream Elements, which is just as good. You can create your alerts. And I did a video recently about this tool from Stream Elements called Mercury that lets you put interactive widgets in your description of your videos. It gives a shout out to your Patreon patrons or your latest subscribers on YouTube. So, and that's free, and it's called Mercury. So just go back to 3 videos and you'll see Mercury. And yeah, Maria's here. I didn't realize non-Clubhouse can listen. Yes, it matters to me because I've been using replay sort of like podcasts. Yay. I don't need to convince people to join and hear me. Yes, come in a room with me. Yes, Maria, I will. Yes, Maria Humphreys, everyone. We were talking about meditation earlier, and Maria Humphreys has amazing meditation podcasts, and oh, she's just incredible. I am following you, so I'll be alerted when you do host a room. Yep, you sure will, because you'll be in there with me. People sort of lots of time spend a lot of time on Clubhouse. I don't, but when I do, I'm not shy to raise my hand and speak. Yes, what I find with a lot of social audio is, a lot of times, because we have our expertise, like myself, like Barb, like Maria, like everybody who's here now, we have our expertise, and we go into these rooms or Twitter spaces, or this may also happen on LinkedIn. And if it's not your room, you're not the host, or not someone who is really close to you is not hosting it, you sit there and you wait and wait until you get your opportunity to speak. And it's like, I got other stuff I can do where I'm listening to all these people that don't even know what they're talking about. And I'm trying to get up there and tell them what's really going on. And they won't, they haven't got to me yet. It's not that anybody's being rude or anything, but it's just like, I got other stuff to do. However, with this web listening, at least I could have that on in the background and still be washing dishes, sweeping, vacuuming, whatever, until they call my name. And then, you can't talk from the web, but then I would have to switch over to the app real quick. Be like, okay, yes, now let me tell y'all the real deal. And not every room is like that. I'm just teasing. I was just making up a scenario of some of the frustration I used to have, especially in the early days of, a lot of people that just didn't even know how to use Clubhouse were asking questions. Okay, so back to the cups. Oh, by the way, I didn't show you guys. This is how it closes up or whatever. And then sometimes it's a little stiff to take the lid off. You gotta be careful because you don't want to pop that lid and the water and your stuff goes all over the place. And then, one more thing I'm gonna tell you about these cups after I read this comment that you have to be careful about. We use similar cups to those, and I love them for the thermal mugs, like with a lid. We use the stainless steel straws with them. No to Streamlabs. I'm still working on Stream Elements. Okay, great, awesome. One thing I will tell you, when you're washing these, and I wash them by hand, I could put them in a dishwasher, but honestly, I don't make enough dishes to run the dishwasher most of the time. When you're washing these by hand, do not use hot water. Really hot water like you would for the rest of your dishes that you're washing by hand. Because typically we're used to, when we're washing the dishes, we use the hot water, but the water cools off. But remember, this is a thermal cup and that water never cools off. So when you actually go to stick your hand in there to scrub it out, it's hot. So don't use hot water. Use, like warm water when you're washing that same water you use to soak the pan with. Don't use that on that cup because you put your hand in there. That's the only thing. I wish they would put a warning on there. Yeah, remember, it's gonna be hot. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see if I got everything on my list here. All right. So we talked about Discord. We didn't actually talk about podcasting. So I'm going to throw in the two topics together. The podcasting along with, no, I can't throw these two in together. There's nothing.
Did you do Twitch?
No, I did not do Twitch.
Okay.
But I'm going to do podcasting. And then we'll do Twitch, and we'll do one more after Twitch that I said I was going to do earlier. So I'll do Twitch, and I will do the other one that we said we were going to do earlier. Okay. All right. So who is saying no to podcasting? I know there's so many courses. Oh my gosh, there's so many courses out here now. I remember when Dave Jackson, my good friend, was the only one who was really consistent with doing the education. But even Cliff Ravenscraft now has returned. He was the podcast answer man, and he left the whole podcast education space and became the mindset answer man. Well, honey, he's back.
Yeah.
He returned. He's the podcast answer man again. I guess he's still also the mindset answer man. I love Cliff. Don't get me wrong. I met him in person and he is amazing. But,
I never got into it before, but that is one I'm a yes on.
Okay,
at
great.
this point, because I know that at this stage in life, it's like what you said about listening on the web to Clubhouse, that it is more likely I would, but I think because it's choices, and I caught your live stream on Anchor, the aspect of that with Spotify, and now and looking at the numbers of Spotify versus Apple. And I looked at that and I said, now more of my audience is actually on Spotify. But it's this thing, oh, well, you're on Apple, aren't you? It's like that popularity thing just by name. And now I'm looking, there's definitely been a clear separation of the ages, if you will. Before, we had the intergenerational, everything we were doing, we had something from everywhere. And I am finding that it is becoming more specific to generations at this stage in life. I will just, at this stage in life, meaning that because of what we went through in this last 2 years.
Okay. And I don't see anyone else saying how they feel about podcasting, but I would certainly love to hear. And let's just do a little bit more of housekeeping as well. Things that I said I was going to take care of before we left. And one of our topics that we covered earlier was NFTs. And I said that I was going to share with you a book. So I was getting that ready as Barb was speaking. And it's the NFT Handbook. NFT Handbook by Matt Fortnow and Q Harrison Terry. In fact, our friend, who was our lawyer friend, Barb? Can't think of his name while I'm copying and pasting. Mitch.
Mitch Jackson.
Mitch Jackson is the one who recommended this book, and I think I listened to like maybe 10 or 15 minutes of it, but now I am entrenched with the Will Smith's audio book. So I'm not going to post the Amazon link there, but I am going to post there for you who can see it here. I'll just put it also up on screen, the NFT Handbook. I think, oh no, everybody can see it except Twitter. Matt Fortnow and Q Harrison Terry. So just to follow up on that. And and I know, of course, Maria is saying yes to podcasting because she's an awesome podcaster. No one else has chimed in on what they think about podcasting. So let's just move on to the next one. Let's see if this generates a little bit more. And that is Facebook audio, because we talked about audio. I should say Facebook rooms. I'll say Facebook rooms because there's audio rooms and there's video rooms with
Right.
Facebook. And so, what say you, Barb?
Okay, this one deserves attention at this point in time because of the changes that Facebook has recently made. Now, it came on, I think it was in 2020 or even 2019, they started it out from the audio aspect of it. But Facebook itself, the company, the Meta, we're all going to have difficulty with that. But with their group's division and using Facebook rooms, they actually launched it with this last in October and November with their programs and redoing that. And the issue is the encryption. They told us all it was going to be encrypted. It's all really tight. But if you Google it, we still don't have like we have on WhatsApp. And I don't know if that's on your list to address or not.
No,
but
we're at the last topic.
It happened to me just this last week. And that is, again, you go where your audience is, right? So I decided in a family group to actually launch a Facebook room because I use that for beta testing as well. And that's cross-generational. I have 3 generations in there, if not 4 at this point. But all these people, and they would never join me on anything live. Nothing happened before. But what Facebook does in the rooms is they do notify them. They're actually messenger rooms is what that Facebook rooms is. And so people
Messenger.
are notified whether or not they're on Facebook. So that was a good thing. And I heard from people I hadn't heard from in 30 years on voice. And it was like, well, this thing came up. So again, it's like when Facebook Live just started, we all got notified. And so the visibility in rooms is going to be good at least for the next 6 months in using the tool.
Okay.
And
But can I say something? Because someone asked a question. I did videos on YouTube here about Facebook live audio rooms,
mhm,
Facebook live audio rooms.
mhm.
And there is a difference between Facebook audio rooms and messenger rooms. There's a
Well,
difference because if you're on Facebook, on your profile, you can't do an audio room on Facebook.
how long ago did you do that video?
Just a month ago. So the question just came up or yesterday or within the last 24 hours. It might even been this morning. Someone asked that question about, I'm trying to go do this live audio room and I can't choose my friends who I want to see this. And I said, are you on your page or your profile? And that's what made me go and look. And I said, oh, you have to use Messenger if you want to use an audio room. So this is another thing. This is where Facebook, because of them not being transparent and explaining these things to people, you can go live with video in a video room on your page and on your profile. You can go live in an audio room on your page from your phone only. You can't do an audio room on your page from desktop. That's the way it is right now. Now, who
On
knows?
Facebook?
Yes, they can change it.
I'll check mine because I
They can
haven't
change
even
it tonight.
attempted to do on the profile. But it was my understanding from the tech meetings I was in this last month that it was being managed through Messenger. So I thought
Yes,
that was
true.
the switch, is that everything is going through, even though we are in Facebook and we have tools to invite people there with, if we give a link to someone, let's say on our phone, and we send a text message on our phone with that link in there, they can come live audio right without having anything else.
Oh, yes. Okay, that's true. They don't have to be
They
logged
don't
in.
have to be a member
But
of
you're
Facebook.
starting it from Messenger.
And well, but that, okay, let's figure out how to communicate this. Yes, starting from Messenger, but it's inherent that Facebook has made that it's not a choice that we have.
But if you go to the Facebook app, you
Uh,
won't be able to start an audio room.
On your
Your
phone, is what you're
profile.
saying?
On your profile.
From your phone.
From your phone.
No. Well, I don't use Facebook from my phone.
Okay, so that's the difference. That's the big difference, Barb. Yeah, even from desktop, you can't start an audio room from on Facebook from your profile.
Okay, I'm going to check that one because that one is
We
one
can we
that,
can check it right now, but I just wanted to say, Fraser, that the link is up on screen for you to come in. And so let me just show you, because like I said, I had to check it out because I was like, well, how come this person can't do this?
and this is direct. You're going to demonstrate now?
Hopefully, yes. Okay. I was trying to see if how do I join again? You go to that link, click on that link, Fraser. How do I join again? See that link? Ileane.link/join on stream.
Scrolling banner at the bottom of the screen, Fraser.
It's been so long since you joined someone on Facebook. I mean, on StreamYard. All right. So let's see if I can. I don't want to remove it. Duh, Ileane, why are you being silly? Oh, because I got the wrong layout. Here you go. So I'm on my Facebook profile. All right. And you see where it says, oh, sorry, create room. When I start this room, this is a video room. Hello, Fraser.
Hello.
Everyone say hello to Fraser.
Hi, Fraser.
Hi, Barb. How you doing?
I'm hesitant to do this while I'm actually live right now. But I just did it the other day just to verify. It's not an audio room. It is a video room from your profile. On your page, you can do the audio rooms. Whew. And from your page, you can do a video room. It's so crazy. Oh, and Kathy said, hi, Fraser. So, Fraser, what are you saying no to? I'm going to take down this right now.
Well,
What
in
are
fact,
you?
yeah, probably start.
I'll just run down a couple of the things. What about Discord? Are you using Discord?
Not as much as I probably should do. I think it's just I do enough at the moment.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, everybody. Probably starting to not do as much helping people. I mean, it's good to help people, but helping people I was helping people to the stage that I was getting myself to a better level of knowledge. And now that with people are getting passing, hello, my mess in the background, people are recommending me to help them, like starting a podcast, for example. And it does take time to do stuff. And I realize that, okay, I don't mind helping, but I now need to maybe earn a bit of cash at the same time to it, because it's good to help, but now it gets to the stage it's quite time consuming, and maybe they need to kind of a little bit of
Yes. Let me just explain to everyone. Fraser is that kind of a person that will give you the shirt off his back and, bend over backwards and try to solve problems you don't even know you have. That's the kind of person Fraser is. So he's probably done that for one too many people. And now he realizes, yeah, I need to start saying no. So it's your own urges that you're saying no to, Fraser.
yes.
Because a lot of times people aren't even asking you for the help you're offering before they even ask. I know you. So yeah, that you got to sometimes just say, hey, nope. This is why I want us to do this exercise. So even if anybody who's watching this video in the replay, okay, I want you all to think about this. Get yourself even a list, and it doesn't have to be written. I'd like for you to write it down, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a mental list of things that when they come across your path, that you just know that, nope, I'm saying no. I'm doing enough stuff. Like Fraser's got his business as well as his podcasting network. And so he's got to say no to some things.
I have learned, one thing I have learned is that I've taken it more a kind of, hey, Robert, how you doing?
Robert says, hey, the man.
what I have learned is I've learned to not cheat. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not chasing. If people, I've noticed that, okay, just to clarify, there's a lot of people who talk about collaboration, right? But when they talk, but from one meeting to the next meeting and to the next meeting, they say, let's talk about collaboration. Let's build up collaboration network. But they never do it. They never take the action. So when people want to collaborate, they kind of just shy away. So, well, what's the point in talking about collaboration if you're not going to do it? And what's the help it work together in the same way?
Do you have a tea kettle on or something? I'm hearing a hiss.
Sorry, say again.
I hear a hiss in the background.
Oh, my washing machine in the background. Apologies.
Oh, it's a washing machine.
Washing machine. It's like, yeah, it's on. Apologies. Sorry, that's the washing machine. Anyway,
Okay. All right.
but yeah, so so I think it's the kind of, there's a lot of people you want to do collaborate, just they keep talking about it now, and they say it's almost like it's carried on from last year. But take action, do it. Let's try it. Don't not do it, because you never know, it might actually lead to something quite good and quite more better. But that kind of thing. So, and you get to the stage you don't want to chase.
I want to say Tori and Marquita's comment. Yay, we have Fraser in here helping us too.
Unfortunately, the washing
Great to
machines are
have
quite
the
noisy.
insight of Barb and now Fraser and then our friend Robert E.
We need a plumber in here.
That's a serious spin cycle. I never would have guessed. I thought you were making tea because I know how you people over there on that side of the pond like to
Right.
make tea all the time.
Sounds like about the launch.
I thought it was a tea kettle. Well, at least you're washing your clothes. But you know, hey,
Oh,
Edinburgh
that was brilliant.
dusters. So
priceless timing, I have to say.
All right, so
Priceless timing.
let me just go through a couple more things that
Sure.
we want to know if you're saying yes or no to, since you're here. What about TikTok?
Well, I'll tell you something, actually. Talking about TikTok, on Tuesday, I started, the videos I post up in Work in Focus for the radio station, the group that it's a private group we're part of. I thought, why don't I just post them on TikTok? And for some reason, my radio stats have gone through the roof.
So TikTok is a yes for you. Good,
Yeah,
good.
I thought, well, why not create a Mintwave TikTok and see what happens, and just posting what I post and a few extra hashtags, boom, it's gone. Well, it's kind of, to give you an example, I'll find out tomorrow morning when I get the email from the station, a weekly email. So to give you a rough idea, from the latter part of the last year to the beginning part of the first week in this year, we had a slight drop in numbers because it's the time of year. When we launched the new episodes, the new people who'd signed up, we had a bump. We created double, so we had like about over 300. Looking at the stats at the moment we've had for a week, I think I've got a funny feeling we're hitting over 4,000 because I started posting on TikTok.
Awesome. Yeah, TikTok is a traffic generator.
Yes.
Great.
So I've got a funny feeling I will screenshot the email that we get, and
laundry is important. I heard it. Thought it was the voices in my head singing. That's okay. At least we know your clothes are clean, Fraser. Oh, that is so fun.
right, okay.
All right. So I'm going to give you one more, and then we're going to shut. You're going to shut this live stream down. It's been so much fun. And I'll do one that I think you may know. Oh, I know that you use this, so I'm going to say you're probably going to keep saying yes to it. Canva.
I'm never off Canva, literally. Never off it.
Yes, Canva is like your favorite app.
I pay for a premium on that Canva app. I also have the Adobe series, for in the cloud that I pay a huge amount each month for my son and myself. And I have PicMonkey, which I've had since the early days.
Me too.
But I am fine. I am going to give up. My goal is to give up PicMonkey this year and switch everything to Canva, because I looked at all of the additional things that Canva has added and helping us with Facebook group management, that I felt it was worth my time. I mean, I don't have that on PicMonkey.
I'll tell you, well, PicMonkey is very affordable. And, PicMonkey got acquired by Shutterstock. So the only thing that I have been using PicMonkey for, and I used it just yesterday, is to crop an image. Canva does not do that yet, but I won't be surprised if
Cropping
they
out.
roll out new
Mm.
features every week. There is no crop tool in Canva.
Yeah, there is.
You can resize an image,
All right. So
but you can't crop
I've got to check that one
an
out. I
image.
can't believe that that's not
They
in
don't. I
there.
know they don't have it. And if they do, oh,
You're missing it.
I would get rid of.
So we can't like create an icon, take a square, and then create a circle out of it, right? Remember, that's one of the things in PicMonkey also that.
Yeah, but I never do that.
Well, I do that a lot.
Yeah,
So,
I love Canva. Will always say yes to Canva,
I
especially with
can-
the free features for educators. Yes,
there is
and
a-
now Fraser has me dying laughing. Laughter is contagious. I'm going to say yes to TikTok. Thanks
I
for
do,
the reinforcement,
Ileane, I do
Fraser.
have which might help you guys. It's if you ever need to quickly remove a background for something.
Well,
If you
I use Canva and I also use Clipping Magic. But wait, let me
well,
finish reading this comment.
okay,
Canva outperforms PicMonkey by far. It does, but PicMonkey has the background remover in it now too. And I noticed that yesterday when I went to crop the image. I was like, oh, now here they go with remove background. And Cynthia said, love Canva. Fraser, how to size a photo.
yeah.
You use the resize. So I don't know if that's a pro feature or not. Yeah, that's a pro feature.
I've in the private chat on StreamYard here. I've put in the link that I use for removing a quick background. Sometimes it's
Oh
actually
yeah,
very,
that's a free one.
yeah. I use it
Blue
quite a lot. It's
PC.
very handy actually.
Yeah.
Just so you might
Yes.
want.
I can, let's see if I can copy that link there and add that as a banner. And yeah, you can use this tool if you just need to remove the background for something. But I think most of us who use Canva probably have the pro. And as Principal Walker said, for educators, they have a discount, and I think it might even be free. And for nonprofits, it's free. So yeah, so check out Canva, everyone. But PicMonkey is still, being acquired by Shutterstock was good for them because Canva has really saturated the market. And so now with them being part of Shutterstock, they don't have to worry about going out of business because Shutterstock is, I mean, they even got iStock, so Shutterstock is like one of the places to go when you want affordable, if you're not getting free images from Unsplash or whatever, and you want affordable images, Shutterstock, and they do, and they have a fantastic blog and a great newsletter. I actually am on their email list and look forward to their emails. That's how good they are. Yep. And I have Canva Educator and Pro. Awesome, Cynthia. And I'll have to show you how to crop on Canva, Miss Ileane. There are several ways. Oh, I'm all for it, girl. I am a girl guy. I am all for it, y'all.
I've been
Yes.
using Canva for I used Canva obviously recently for my resurrecting my KDP publishing, my sort of daily planners and stuff. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. So we did talk about Amazon Live. So is Amazon Live? Is that something that you've ever explored or?
Not yet, no. Is it? I'm not. I suppose a lot of things they do tend to be more over America first than they are here. So that tends to be the.
Barbara, when I think about, somebody asked about that the other day. Well, when I think about our Amazon Live Facebook group, and I was trying to think if there are people that are outside the US. Like some people I might think that they're outside the US. And then I'm like, no, I really don't know.
No, not yet. It's not
it's
not
only
available
US.
outside the US yet.
Thank you for confirming that. Okay, so that wasn't even a fair one. So I'm going to give you.
How is Stephen Healy doing that? I mean, he's actually doing stuff on Amazon Live. I wonder how that. So I'm wondering how he's doing that.
I don't know. Okay, what about?
I have to check because maybe something in the UK in this last quarter, but I don't. it was my understanding that was still a no. But I wondered when he's using Be Live as a tool to do that.
Oh, it's the usual suspects.
Oh boy, now it's going to get ornery.
Troublemaker. No, we get ready to shut this live down. But thank you, Guy, for coming, and I appreciate you. You're being over on the YouTube side, and I would tell you to come on in, but we're getting ready to shut things down. So I appreciate you, Barb, so much for coming, as well as you, Fraser, and the Amazon Live takes an iPhone. Yep, you have to have an iPhone. And I don't know what's slowing Amazon down. It's been out for 2 years, so why they haven't figured out an Android app for it, I don't know. I will say, for anyone who does do Amazon Live, if you're using Ecamm now, Ecamm has made it easier for you to go live on Amazon. Well, actually, it's in beta. We're beta testing it. And so you don't have to go in there and fiddle around with the settings. It's going to detect that you're going live on Amazon. It's going to automatically change the settings for you. Hey, the key is to the lock.
There you go, Ileane. Do some product placement for everybody.
Coffee that inspires. Brazilian Barbosa. Oh, mint waves. You got your little logo on there. So
yeah,
that's your coffee, but it's the name of the kind of coffee is Brazilian Barbosa.
Yes, correct.
Oh, good for you.
Okay. So I thought just a product placement for you. And,
Guy says, I plan to lose weight in 2022. Isn't that a lot of our plans for every year? Well, I'm speaking for myself. I shouldn't say
we've all had a serious spin cycle.
Oh, there's my greetings all from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. So NLTMW, never let the machines win. My friend Mike. Great seeing you. And people have said thanks for this informative way to learn about the various platforms. Thanks, Barb and Fraser, for your input. And this has been helpful for me as well, to know what kind of tutorials I should prepare for you all, because if you're saying no to a lot of things that we've talked about today, you can best believe I will not be doing any kind of tutorials for them.
Yes, we need to play. Guy, we need to play chess. We challenged the Guy to an online chess game because we have something. And
now you have to play Ileane.
So it's Robert, if you need your washing done, I'll do your washing for you.
Well, I mean, I'm letting them do commercials here, Robert. So yeah. You can do stars on Facebook and you can do super chat on YouTube. I guess that I should try to be on time for more events like this in 2022. Yes, you should. But it was impromptu. Actually, I did schedule this. I scheduled it like 15 minutes before I went live. But hey, that counts. Because the good thing is, if you don't schedule and you just go live from StreamYard, here's a tip for you guys. I know most people don't do this, but and Principal Walker says, did someone say chess?
Yeah.
But if you don't schedule, then you don't get a thumbnail on YouTube. You have to upload the thumbnail later. And people see this. People see your YouTube banner in a very unflattering look.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So with YouTube, you could schedule it 5 minutes ahead of time just for the purpose of uploading that thumbnail, because you probably still have other things you need to do on the back end anyway. However, with Facebook demands that you have to schedule 10 minutes ahead of time, which is really silly, because guess what? Once you're inside a StreamYard studio after you schedule it, you started early. You don't have to wait those 10 minutes. You just go live. So Facebook, once again, does something that is kind of like, huh? Why you make me schedule it 10 minutes, but you let me go live?
Yeah.
Once I'm in the studio. So there's always a way, more than one way to skin a cat with Facebook.
Wow.
So everyone, and Fraser and his noisy washer.
Right. You can still hear it. It's on. It's nearly finished. I'm glad it's nearly finished because I'm doing an interview with Tony Henderson Myers is interviewing me for
Oh,
something that she's got
good,
tomorrow. Yeah.
good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Okay,
Thank
Barb
you.
and Fraser,
Repeat.
I'm going to do my little closing, so I'm going to just go on solo. You guys can leave whenever. And I want to thank each and every one of you. And just to remind you, those of you that did come here late, I was talking about things you need to say no to because people really want us to pile more stuff on our plate. They've got all these challenges and they want to make sure we know how to go live and they want us to start podcasts and they want us to do Clubhouse and LinkedIn. And we can't do it all. We need to make sure that the content that we put out is more about quality rather than quantity. So I want you to make a list. I would love for you to write it down with using your hand and a pen, a pencil, and paper because something about that connection between you writing it down and makes it sink into your brain. But you can do it as an audio notes on your phone, or you can just make a mental note of the things that you are going to say no. Say no. All right. Because I don't want you 6 months from now talking about, oh, I'm burnt out. No, don't get burnt out. I want you. And here comes another troublemaker. Here's my friend Eric. No, 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 no. You are here. No, 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 no. Oh, yes, I'm here. And thank you, Eric, for coming with the final word for today's live stream. And so, thanks so much for everybody on Facebook, on YouTube, and even on Twitter. So, with that, I always start my broadcast by saying hello, beautiful people, because you know what? I know that you have a beautiful message inside of you that needs to come out. You might be afraid of the tech, you might be a little afraid to get on cam. But what I want to do is show you what buttons to push so that you will feel more confident, so that you will be able to have your voice be heard. So, even though you're a man or a woman or non binary, although I say hello, beautiful people, in the end, I always say farewell and stay beautiful.